Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're sitting in the world. I wanted to do a brief video talking about the difference between the terminal and the shell. Some good videos out there, but I thought I'd cover it just to give you my angle. Now, in the history of computers, the terminal started out looking something like this, a teletypewriter. It is a mechanical device with an electrical interface that has a keyboard, a roll of paper, a print head, and an electrical interface that goes back to whatever it's connected to. They were used at one time for sending messages from straight from one device to another for a variety of purposes. When computers came along, they were hooked up to computers with various types of interfaces. There was current loop and RS-232 were the main ones that I'm familiar with anyway. And as time went on, they started developing models that have a cathode ray tube or CRT on them. Okay, so this is a Digital Equipment Corporation VT100. Okay, keyboard, tube, and it had a serial interface on the back. And then they continued for a number of years. They got a little more modern, a little sleeker, and they had more things that could be done programmatically with them. And what you did with them is essentially the programs that ran on the computer would send what were called escape codes. It was the ASCII value for the escape key, which is the upper left-hand corner of most keyboards, at least in the United States, and then a series of characters that would cause the cursor to do something or something to be put on the screen or something to be taken off the screen. And you can see that there's a large number of various commands that can be issued. So you could clear the screen, move the cursor to a position on the screen, and then of course you could put text on the screen. So these were all done with what was known as escape codes. As time went on in TCP/IP networking, the internet came into prominence. We started having programs that simulated these old physical terminals. So this is PuTTY. It is, I believe it emulates a VT100 style terminal. There's a little configuration you can do with it, so you can change the features somewhat, but essentially it pretends to be that type of terminal so that programs on the other end can do things like clear the screen. When I run the program that sends those sequences to it. Now, it really doesn't run a program. This is handled by the shell, which is what we're going to talk about next. So there's a number of different types of shells. In the old days, there was just the shell. Then came a version of it known as the Bourne shell, and that was named after its author. Then, just to then it kind of as a play on words, there was the seashell, there was the corn shell, and today there's 5 or 6 other popular shells, and they do different things. Their main role is when a person connects to the computer via the console, or which is what I'm doing here on a Windows box. The shell is the first thing that runs. It's the interface, the command line interface, the keyboard interface between the person and the underlying operating system. So it's a program that's running on the computer. Okay, so this is a computer I'm running connected to, and it's running a very thing. And I can look at the processes, okay? And you can see that here's what's called the secure shell daemon, okay? And what that is a cryptographically protected uh, network connection between this terminal program on my Windows box and the Linux box running the shell. And here you can see Bash, which is the born again shell. Again, uh, it's an enhanced version of the original born shell. Okay. And you can see all the other programs that are running on this particular machine. Okay. And in order to do things on this, I interact with the shell. And the shell, for example, is when I executed this PS processes, uh, it gathered this information, gave it to the terminal, sent it to the terminal using the escape sequences or whatever it needed to be properly formatted. I can run another program here, okay? And again, this is using escape sequences to put things in the proper place, to update it as we go along, okay? And so I hope that helps. Again, uh, uh, please come back and check in on me every so often. I'll try to keep updated with new information as I have time. Thank you.